What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes through setbacks.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. So I hope everybody is doing well. I'm doing fantastic, and I'm really looking forward to jumping into today's topic. And today I'm going to be talking about relying on other people, or the idea that we should stop relying on other people. So before we jump into it, though, I do want to clarify. When I mean stop relying on other people, I'm not saying that you should isolate yourself or reject the idea of community and support. Because, I'm all about community. I'm all about family and socializing. This is far from that. What I'm talking about is this mindset of dependency, the habit of relying on others to validate your decisions, to make you happy, or to push you towards your goals, the things that you set out to do. See, we often fall into this trap of thinking that if we rely on someone else, whether it's a partner or a friend or even a mentor, that we'll be safer, right? It's like a sense of security, and that we'll be more successful that way. But the truth is, when you place your sense of security in someone else's hands, what you're really doing is you're giving away your power. Everything that you fought for, everything that you're dreaming of, you're giving your power away. Think about it. If your happiness depends on someone else's approval, what happens when they don't give it? If your success depends on someone else's support, what happens when they can't or won't offer it? You know what happens? You are left vulnerable, uncertain, and often stuck on stupid. Right? And this is what happens when you give away your power because you're relying on other folks. When you stop relying on others for things that you could provide for yourself, things like confidence, motivation, and direction, then you take back control of your life and of your goals and dreams and ambitions. You take back the power. This doesn't mean you can't seek advice or collaboration or support. It means that you don't need these things to move forward. And I can tell you as a coach, what I try to do is I try to inspire my clients and anyone listening to this podcast or any friends of mine to take the power and run with it. That does not mean that you can't come to me for advice or for inspiration. Of course, you should always find inspiration and motivation wherever you could find it, but don't allow that to take the steering wheel. That's just the gas, right? That just gives you a charge in your battery. Self-reliance is way more empowering, man, because it teaches you that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. It builds resilience because you learn to trust in your judgment and your abilities. And ultimately, it fosters growth because you're no longer waiting for someone else to give you permission to do anything, to succeed, to move forward, to have confidence in yourself. You don't need anyone's permission. So here's some of the things you could do to develop this self-reliance, right? You're probably asking yourself, hey, how do I start building this mindset? Well, here's one. So identify what these dependencies are that you have. Take some time to reflect on where you rely too much on other people. Is it for emotional support? Is it for decision making? Is it for motivation? Identify these areas is the first step to reclaiming your power. And I can tell you from my own experience, emotional support was always really big for me. I needed people to care. But I learned that sometimes people don't care, or they just don't have a way of showing it that is obvious to me. So I can't rely on that outside energy. I got to rely on myself. The next thing you can do is just to set some personal goals. Start setting goals that you can achieve independently. This could be as simple as making a daily to-do list, or it could be as complex as starting, a whole new project or starting a new goal. But the key is to take action on your own terms. Another one that's really important is to build your inner confidence. And confidence comes from doing things. The more you challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone and achieve things on your own, the more self-confidence will grow. And this is another one I could speak to on personally. I needed to just do things, show myself that I could do these things, in particular the coaching thing. When I first started, I was like, man, I know I've got the tools and the assets and the skills and the ability to do this, but can I really do it professionally? But I pushed myself, and once I showed myself that I could do it, now it's like nothing for me. Because I've got confidence I can help anybody. Another thing to do is to learn to self-motivate. Find what drives you from within. And this could be a passion, a purpose, or desire to prove something to yourself. And that goes back to what I said before about the inner confidence thing. I needed to prove to myself that this thing that I love doing, coaching, is something I could do professionally. And so I pushed myself to prove to myself. So whatever it is, you tap into it and let it fuel your actions. And another one, okay, and this one, again, this is not relying on people, okay? This is creating a supportive environment, okay? While you're not relying on others to carry you, it's still important to surround yourself with positive influences. Choose people who encourage your independence and growth, rather than those who feed into your dependencies. So find other folks that are maybe, also pursuing, and they also have other goals and they're going forward with it, and use that as a way to push each other forward, as a way to be inspired by each other. Or find a mentor who is going to not only inspire you or help you with what you're doing, but they're also going to be able to say, hey, look, you got to do this shit on your own. Or a really good coach is going to do the same thing. When I meet with a client, remember, a coach is not giving you answers. The coach is going to help you find the answers. And that's what you want, because I want you to be self-reliant. So at the end of the day, learning to stop relying on people doesn't mean that you're shutting others out. It means you're choosing to stand on your own 2 feet. That's a great feeling, guys. It's scary if you don't have the confidence or if you don't really know where you're going. But when it's all said and done, you're going to feel so great looking back. Because it's about being the author of your own story and the captain of your ship. When you take responsibility for your own happiness, success, and direction, you're not just surviving, you are thriving. So here's my challenge for you guys, okay? Start today. Identify one area where you can begin to rely more on yourself, all right? Think about these different things in your life that you feel like you're relying too much on someone else. And ask yourself, can you do it yourself? Maybe it is a skill you can learn so you don't have to rely on someone else that's doing it for you. But whatever it might be, take that step and watch how it transforms your mindset and your life. All right, folks, that's all I got for you today. If you found this conversation helpful, I hope you could share with someone that you think might also find it helpful. And if you or anyone you know wants to work with Coach Vino, you can find me at CoachVinoLLC.com. Or if you just want to hang out with me on social media, I can be found anywhere at Coach Vino LLC, where I share my love for motivation and libations. And remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form, but I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.